Characters and plot lines in Halo Season 2 Episode 3 Visegrad continued in a daring manner, emulating chess, laying the groundwork for a pivotal conflict in Episode 4. Furthermore, Visegrad is by all means evidence that Season 2 of Halo is producing content that is far superior than Season 1 in terms of complexity, emphasis, and character interaction. Searching for Cobalt Team at the Visegrad Communications Relay on Reach, Master Chief Pablo Schreiber commands the Spartan Silver Team in a search and rescue operation. Chief informs his squad that they are off-book and on their own since UNC Command and don't think the Covenant has penetrated the Reach when they are outside the relay. As the Silver Team get closer to the relay, they appear nervous. After a brief glimpse of Corporal Talia Perez, Christina Rodlo, dozing off at the radio and listening to some sort of conversation, we return to Silver Team breaking into the relay site. Instead of finding Cobalt Team, they discover a tape of an odd communications message written in an unintelligible language. The signal is revealed to be a Covenant message via quick cuts between Perez and the Spartans, and Perez appears to know how to interpret it when she wakes up from sleep. Meanwhile, a group of USC Marines tasked with bringing Silver Team back after they went AWOL confront them. Following a violent confrontation, Master Chief assaults the locker room, claiming to find Cobalt Team, but they are nowhere to be found. After Master Chief is talked down by fellow Spartan Kai, Kate Kennedy, they decide to head back to base. It is revealed that Joseph Morgan's character, Colonel James Ackerson, is taking care of his father, who has dementia, perhaps Alzheimer's. Ackerson tells his father in a difficult way that he must go and cannot bring him with him. The older Ackerson says that even in his condition, he remembers that his son told him about the horrible disaster that is approaching. The elderly man had some nostalgic flashbacks, like the time he had a urination mishap all over his brother, and how the two of them went on to construct some of the most amazing buildings on the Reach, including a bridge. Mr. Ackerson recalled crossing that bridge with his wife, James, and Julia, James' sister. James has to tell the elderly guy once more that his wife and daughter are deceased when he becomes delighted to meet them. At first, James calms his irate and irritated father down. Colonel Ackerson's father promises him before he goes that he won't allow the Covenant to catch him. Danny Sapani plays Admiral Jacob Keyes, who chastises Silver Team for going missing in action. Master Chief is accused of being insane by him, a claim that is supported when it seems that John's evidence, Cobalt's charted flight plan, is also incorrect. The Admiral dismisses the Chief's accusation of betrayal against Ackerson and places the entire team on leave. The remainder of the Silver Team, including Kai, who says he saw the presumed dead Covenant Blessed One, Makey, on Sanctuary, is at odds with Chief. Kai shows her lack of faith in Chief. It's obvious that the Chief loses command of his unit at that point. Lara, Soren 066's, Bokeem Woodbine, wife, is experiencing growing anxiety as a result of his continued missing in action status. As Lara strolls through the streets of the rubble, someone grabs hold of her. After a little scuffle, it's revealed to be Quan Ha, an old comrade of Soren's who has been hiding in the rubble and has been covertly befriending Lara and Soren's son Kessler. Lara is told by Quan that Soren has betrayed him and turned him up to the police, and that his family is going to be the next victims. When Lara gets home, Kessler is waiting there with Soren's top lieutenants. She is informed that Soren's ship has been repaired early and that they are all going to search for him together. Lara buys herself some, very little time while she tries to get Kessler ready to go. To her surprise, Quan admits that she has been hiding in Soren's house and that she is close to Kessler. While being led to a psychological assessment, Master Chief takes out his guards in the elevator. When Riz 028 pays her friend and trainer Lewis 036 a visit at his house, she discovers that Lewis is in fact in a romantic relationship, as well as a domestic partner, with the holistic healer he described to her in Episode 2. After being invited in for supper, Riz starts talking to Lewis about his options for a life beyond becoming a Spartan. Kai goes over to Ackerson and begs for Silver Team to return to competition. Ackerson surprises her by revealing that Master Chief defeated his guards and fled, so she offers to lead Silver Team until he is restored. When Ackerson questions Kai about whether she's supporting Chief, he adopts a more tactful stance and warns her that Chief might have irreparably damaged mental health. Kai is unsure of himself and wants guidance on what to do. In order to escape, Quan and Lara devise a plan to take over Soren's ship. After a conversation that seems to point toward a terrible event that would finish Quan's people's arduous journey of guarding the Halo gates, she finds herself in a type of existential crisis on what to do next. The two women wait for a gap in which the pirates and docking staff are preoccupied. Then they get onto Soren's ship with Kessler and flee. Just before Lyra can take off, the pirates seal the bay doors. She gives herself over to the betraying pirates, allowing Kwan and Kessler to flee together. Ackerson calls in Admiral Keyes to examine the corpses of the Spartan Cobalt team, who are in fact very much dead. Keyes is enraged until Ackerson transforms his wrath into dread by telling him that there won't be a citizen evacuation, as Master Chief feared when Ackerson ordered Cobalt team into the field unprepared and they were massacred. Keyes vows to fight and die if necessary to safeguard the people of Reach as Ackerson exposes a scheme to save vital assets on Reach at the expense of many innocent lives. Kessler and Kwan can be seen stumbling onto a civilian vehicle and heading toward Reach. When Kessler asks whether he will see his mother again, Kwan first appears hurt, but then resolutely responds yes, meaning that Kessler will see his mother again. In a restaurant, Master Chief meets with his former commander, Admiral Perengoski, Shabana Azmi, to discuss the latest information regarding the Covenant's incursion into Reach and the USNC's lack of reaction. Perengoski counsels John to be loyal to ONI and to his identity as a soldier who obeys orders from above. The restaurant is crowded with Perengoski's squad of agents and enforcers when John tries to leave, revealing her to still be an obedient ONI operative. Master Chief almost gets into his second fight of the day, but he walks away once more. Saying farewell, Ackerson pays a visit to Dr. Catherine Halsey in her hologram prison cell. He breaks down Halsey by examining her motivation for keeping the Spartans' feelings repressed, to foster their total fidelity to her. Halsey is bid farewell by Ackerson, who assures her that her efforts with the Spartan program will eventually be put to good use in the war, even though she won't be around to witness it. In response, Halsey deconstructs Ackerson, stating that she knows who the red-headed girl they keep putting in is, and that she is Ackerson's deceased sister Julia. According to Halsey's explanation, Julia was chosen for the Spartan augmentation procedure, but was unable to endure it. She delivers a sharp, penetrating jab when she claims that, if it eases James's pain, she also gave Julia the impression that she would be a minor component of something bigger. Ackerson is obviously distraught because, as a harsh farewell, he has Soren carried inside the cell and abandons the former Spartan there, harboring all of his homicidal intentions toward her. Soren's crew questions Lyra in an attempt to get paid. Lyra admits there is no treasure and attempts to turn the pirates against one another by saying they are merely interested in gaining power and betraying one another. It functions somewhat, but Lyra is still left in an airlock with a countdown to being launched into space. Lyra is saved from certain death by Kwan's brutal killing of the pirates. Together, they take Soren's ship and sail into the Reach in an attempt to save Soren and reunite with Kessler. Ackerson goes back to see his father one last time before saying goodbye. When his son keeps his word to provide him a happy ending, the elder Ackerson is not afraid that the day of reckoning has come. With considerable comfort, James gives his father a lethal pill and leaves him with one of his homemade Julia clones. When Master Chief returns to Corporal Perez's residence, she is not present. Chief is forewarned by her mother that the devil is obligated to him. He eventually gets to have a meaningful conversation with Perez about the fight they won while on Sanctuary when he finds her looking for solace in a chapel. Perez confirms that Chief is not insane by making out with Makey in the mist. Perez discloses that she was played by the Covenant signal she detected in Sanctuary, which she eventually deciphered. The message is a plea from the Covenant to the inhabitants of Reach, promising that their destruction will be offered to their gods as a sacrifice and that defeating the demon will lead to the Holy Ring of Halo. A montage depicts the final destinations of each character in the episode. Ackerson leaving the planet while his father and the Julia clone lay dead, Van Eyck debating whether to equip up and follow Chief's example, Riz and Lewis lounging, etc. As the episode comes to a close, the chapel's windows are blasted out, forcing Master Chief and Perez to hide while the Covenant attacks.